y'all, Spideera here with another ranking review, and this one is for What Zabb Man. Don't ask me why they named it that, I have no idea. I watched this one a while ago, so I really can't tell you what Zabb means or if that's the guy's name or what, but I can tell you the gist of the story. So it's a story about a guy. He's struggling financially, and he's trying to sell papaya salad in a stall. Now, apparently overseas, this is a very difficult dish to make or something. They make it look difficult, so I'm going to assume it's a delicacy, okay? While working his stall, his brother is hit by a car, and the owner of the car is a rich asshole, and he gets in an argument with him, and then he later finds out that the asshole is the owner of a hotel where he just went to try to get a job as a chef. So to appease him, he has to cook the best foods until the guy is satisfied. Yes, notice the pause there. That's pretty much the gist of the story. So you might be asking, so what's the ranking on this one? It's an 8. Yeah, it's a generous 8, but it is an 8. So let's get to the point as to why it's an 8. The story is fine. It's a tad bit predictable, but overall it's an okay story. And that's really the reason for an 8 is the story itself. The rest of it is just fine, even though it's got great production quality. The acting is good. The pacing is pretty good. They have a side character who is really super cute, and honestly was the only reason I could finish watching this show was to see, where he was going to show up in the story. Yeah, they should have probably made him a main character. No shade to the actual main characters. Like I said, everyone did a great job acting. It's just this story was slow as hell. Now, the guys are a bit soft. They still behave like men, though. So don't get me wrong. I'm not talking soft as in, crying game or anything. It's not that kind of soft. I mean, they're overall, like their mannerisms, their appearance, they're kind of, like, the guys on the playground who want to act tough, but at the same time, they're not. So nobody really picks on them because, if you call them a name, they're going to do that whole, don't talk to me like that, but they're not going to go into full on crying mode or anything. But they're going to cry just enough for you to leave them alone. Yeah, they're not going to hit you, is what I mean. They're not proving their manly bravado or anything like that. These are very, very, kind of, yeah, they're soft guys. And the whole show is really food. So, yeah, there's not a lot to say. It's not a riveting storyline. It's just a story. So anyway, that's why it got an 8. The production and everything's great. It's just the story. It really is. The story itself is just, yeah. Okay, so will you like it? I'm going to come out and just say it. I don't like it. I did not like it very much at all. But that was only because it's just not exciting to watch. This story has a bunch of people cooking, eating, arguing over food rankings, contests. And, don't get me wrong. I love stories that where food is kind of like the catalyst. But usually it's like, I think there's one called Catering You or Catering for You or something. Like, they make that look like borderline food play. Yes, okay. I think in that story, even the food became dangerous at one point. Or, like the stuff that goes on with the guys that were in Dark Blue Kiss. They don't cater, but they do have a coffee place, and they made the coffee look sexy. They put some real sexiness in it. This one, it falls a little flat because even though the whole show is about food, they spend more time kind of bashing the hell out of this stuff than they do plating it in a sexy way. Like, there's a way to really make food erotic even if you're not having sex at the moment, and they really did not do that with this one. So apart from the fact that the story itself was already a little bit meh, they just didn't do enough, in my opinion, to make it so that I was engaged and really wanted to watch it. In fact, it took me 3 times to get past episode 3. That's how slow this was. The other thing is the rich guy, poor guy thing. That is like, that's a little overdone these days, and it only sells well if you do it right. There's a show called Dangerous Romance. They did it right. The rich kid and the poor kid. That was one hell of a show, and I will have a review for that one soonish. That was actually memorable. Notice how I knew the title and all that, and I didn't just watch it yesterday. It's been a minute, but I will gladly watch it again because it's just a great show. So, so I'd have to say, like in Dangerous Romance, they nailed it. The rich guy, poor guy trope, perfect, spot on, did it right. This one, not so much, and I'm gonna explain why in just a second. So I'm saying, well, you like this one? Maybe there's a big maybe here. It kind of depends on, why do you watch BL? If you watch BL for the aesthetics, like you just like the romance, the boys holding hands, the men gazing at each other's eyes, the soft commentary where they are complimenting each other, or they are fighting without fighting, or if you like that kind of thing, the kind of slow, drawn out dance between them, then yeah, this might be, the kind of film that you would actually enjoy. But this one is a little bit deceptive, because like episode 1 caught my attention immediately, and I thought, oh, this is going to be good, especially because the guy in episode 1 is one of the hot guys I was telling you about who's in the show. And then it kind of goes all the way to the left, and suddenly all that bravado and trash talk and all, it just dies, and it turns into a very extremely soft story that just didn't have enough gumption to it. Now, if you're okay with like relatively predictable storylines, that soft semi-romantic, ooh, I like you, I'm pretending not to like you, but I really like you, then, this might be the kind of story that you like. To me, this setting in a high school would have been fine. This kind of annoys me when they're supposed to be adults, because adults typically don't behave this way. When it comes down to it. And then the over-the-top evil girlfriend trope, things like that. It's just like, oh, here we go again. But anyway, don't get me wrong. That whole love you maybe not thing goes far in high school, college drama. It's for grown men. It's like, oh, Jesus. Especially because they're portraying these guys as having real life problems. Like the one guy could pretty much, let me tell you how serious they set the scenario in episode 1. If this guy doesn't get his hands on some money, he's not only going to be homeless, his brother is going to be out of school. They have no support. They have no family. They have nothing to fall back on. I mean, this guy is like, how he doesn't just say, screw it, and go and do something reckless to get money. Like, why doesn't he just become a gigolo? That's how bad they make his story sound from the very beginning. And yet he doesn't seem to think that's important enough to, I don't know, suck it up and do what you have to do on the job, regardless of how you feel about the boss. I mean, just, accept the guy's niceties and promise to pay him back later. I don't know. It's like it just doesn't match. I don't know. It's soft. And it's like the moment you think they're going to have a real knockout, drag out, or something exciting is going to happen, they move all the way away from it. And it's like, okay, and back to square one. Yay! So, yeah. Anyway, I saw this one a while ago. I'm pretty sure there's not even sex in here. And in fact, if there's any kissing, it's not even memorable. That's how kind of slow this was. I'm not saying there's none. I'm saying that I don't remember it. So it was not riveting enough to make me remember. And trust me, I love kissing especially when they're done really well. In fact, there's one, I think it's called The Star Always Follows You. It is a low budget film, and it's in, I want to say it might be in Vietnam. I'm not sure. But there's a scene where these two guys, they're sitting down, they're talking. And I think, if I recall, the one guy is explaining that he's going to have to leave, and they realize they may never see each other again. Now, they haven't confessed their love or anything at this point, but the older guy just kind of reaches over and gently kisses this guy. But that is a kiss that is one of those out of the ballpark type kisses you don't see coming, because the rest of the show does not imply that you're going to see anything like that. And it's those kinds of things that really stick with, where I can tell you almost every BL that's got a good kiss scene or an epic love scene. Like Untamed has no kissing whatsoever. But the love scene between those two, they're not making love. It's the way that the dance, the performance, the way they move and sync when they're getting ready to kill something. That's epic. Those are those moments to remember. And sadly, Zabb Man doesn't have any of that. I can't remember a damn thing about this show that was so standoutish that I would say, ooh, I can't wait to watch it again. Other than the fact, if I watch it again, it's just to see the cute guy with the long hair. Honestly, that's the only reason I'd watch it. But, don't just take my word for it. Watch a few episodes yourself, because hell, it is a BL. The production quality is good. And if you like watching guys cook and things, then, you might actually like this one a lot more than I did. So I'm not going to badmouth it anymore. I'm just going to say that, hey, to each his own. All right, is there anything important you need to know? This thing is about 8 episodes long, of about 45 minutes each. It is a very slow enemy to lover story, but they don't have enough enemy background for this to be an enemies to lovers, so it's more like annoying guy to more annoying guy, kind of. This would be G-rated. There's nothing hot in this film whatsoever. Even, like I said, they allude to a shower scene and cut, and they're not even in the shower together, so therefore it's not a shower scene. There's no other seasons of the show that I know of. It does start out pretty good. It starts out with you thinking that you're gonna get a kind of quality rough and tumble. These two guys are gonna go at it, only to kind of let you know that that's not really what it's going to be about. But it is simple, though. It is simple to watch. There's no sex, there's no real violence, there's lots of food, and for the most part, you can skip episodes and still pretty much know what's going on. So if that's any indication, this isn't one where it takes a whole lot of thought and effort to watch it. So that's my opinion. And if you've already seen it and you think, oh my God, you're so harsh, this was the best show ever. If that's what you're thinking, please put it in the comment section so people will know that, maybe my judgment on this is a little too harsh. Who knows? I like what I like, and you're going to like what you like. So who knows? Maybe you think an 8 is too low, but yeah, what can I say? I know what I'll say. I'm going to say that if you like it, you'll love it. And if you don't, then you won't. Oh, my goodness. So, with that in mind, I'd say honestly, though, for real, just, if you can make it through episode 2, you might enjoy the rest of them. I'm just saying. I made it to episode 3 before I had to pause and come back. So who knows? Maybe this is your cup of tea. It just wasn't mine. So anyway, this is Spideera, and I'm signing off, and I will see you in the next one.